first things first, I want to flatten the sole of this plane. I'm really not sure how much work this is going to take. I can see some seriously heavy machining marks all along here. What I really care about is right in front here, back here. I want all up here to be dead flat. I really care about all along here. And I expect there's probably going to be a hollow right in here, so we'll see. But the important pieces are going to be up here along the sides here. I just have a piece of, I think, 150 grit on a piece of glass to reference flat. I'm just going to start working on it. I have a mask on, so I don't breathe in any of these filings. So we'll see how this goes. So you can see low spots and spots that haven't even been touched right here. I might end up moving to a much more aggressive 80 grit sandpaper because I don't feel like doing this for 4 hours. So we'll see. I'm gonna do a little bit longer. Come along. A belt sander sandpaper, and ended up going to 120 here. Kind of felt like that was still a little too slow, so now I brought it all the way down to 80 grit. It's a super aggressive one. I'm gonna have to end up working my way back up to smooth this out, but it's making good work. What I really care about is right in here. Much better, much more aggressive too. And I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. We are getting there. All right, so now that the plane is essentially flat, so right here I expected to not really be able to do, but everything else looks good. Ended up moving from the 80 back up to the 120, just to get it kind of smoothed out. The next thing I'm gonna wanna do, you can feel all in here, it's really sharp, okay? So when we get that removed, last thing we want is that to be digging into any of the wood. So on a angle here, I'm going to just push up gently. You can feel that's gone now. Same here. You can actually see a machining mark from when this thing was made. It's like a notch there. Let me see if I can get that out too. That feels better. And all along here is a sharp edge, the entire perimeter of the sole. So as we go through, we're just going to kind of gently much better. And all along here. Something I wish I knew when I first started doing this years ago. The whole bottom feels much better. I'm gonna end up needing to get like a sponge or something and wiping off the residue from the sticker. But what are you gonna do? That's more superficial than anything. I'm not concerned about that right now. So the next step is gonna be seeing how flat this lever cap is. There's no chip breaker, so there's nothing to worry about there with this particular type of design. But I do want to see if this part's flat. I did check it, it is square, which is good. But I suspect that it's not flat, especially if you kind of hold it up against. Now it looks like this side's bent a little bit, so I'm gonna just kind of do the same type of test that we did with the sole, but I'll do it with a little more of an aggressive grit here. This is 400 grit. And I'm going to do the same thing where I'm gonna just really only care about the front right here. So I'm gonna just do this. Let's see where we are with this. I'm gonna try to apply even pressure the whole way. Actually looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. You see how much smoother it is here. That's great. All right, definitely happy with that. Cool. So now with this iron, I really don't know what to expect with how flat it's going to be. So I want to probably start off with the aggressive 400 grit, strain a little bit, and I really still don't only care about the very front here. This will last me a while as long as I can get it flat right here. I can always regrind it eventually. Let it dry. Pretty good. Actually really good. There's a hollow here, which is fine, but I'm really surprised at how easy that was. I can see all here is flat. I'm gonna test it with the slightly higher grit, 600 grit. that, and it's even almost like shining up a little bit. That's cool. Again, I haven't done anything with the blade yet itself, but I'm actually pretty pleasantly surprised with the back. That's pretty cool. All right, I think the back is as flat as we need it right now. Cool. So we're actually going to move on to sharpening the blade. So now I'm not going to use a jig here. I do have a couple. I'm going to try to do this free-handed, and I don't really know what to expect, so I'm going to start off with a more aggressive grit. I'm also going to end up finishing this up with a strop with diamond paste, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to use a little bit of this. I do want to, honestly, just to see what we're working with here, paint this all in. As we check this, I'm pretty sure this one is not square, and I've checked this against a couple squares just in case, but I can see here on this side, it's just not square. It's a little bit lower, which is actually kind of fine because I'm going to end up putting a chamfer on this anyway. So I'm going to kind of feel around. This is a little trickier than, this is a thin blade. So now we're going to see how this goes. It's not bad so far. You can just see the burr up here. That's cool. Okay, I think now again, I'm going to put a little bit, I'm going to put a lot of pressure on this side. All right, it's looking pretty good. I'm going to just remove this burr that's up here. Okay. And we're going to move on to the 600 grit. What am I doing? All right, so looking